Park is New York's fourth largest park, located right here in the Bronx, with the borough's largest freshwater lake. Van Cortlandt Park hosts many different programs, including barefoot dancing, imagination walks, yoga classes, and hiking trails for all of the nature lovers out there. Margot Perron, an administrator of the park, and Rosie Almonte, program development volunteer, are here to discuss and tell us more about Van Cortlandt Park and the Conservancy. Welcome to the show, and thank you for being with us. Margot, we'll start with you.
Great.
Tell us how the Conservancy came about, because I understand that it was relatively recently formed, and what its objectives are, and how you anticipate that it's going to help the park.
Well, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that help the park, but we found that there was a niche that people weren't trying to help. So one of them is cultural programming. So the Van Cortlandt Park Conservancy is currently funding cultural programming in the park, and we're also working towards bringing resources to the sports as well. You remember back in your day playing baseball in the park,
yes,
and now we have brand new fields with irrigation and all kinds of things,
wow.
And that kind of maintenance needs a lot of help.
Yes, it does.
So I brought Rosie with me to talk about the new programs that are going on in the park, and we created imagination walks for young children. You want to tell them how that came about?
Sure, absolutely. The Imagination Walks is a free summer program for children ages 4 to 7. It is a series of 7 consecutive Saturdays, starting this coming Saturday, June 18, and it will run until July 30th. I'm sorry. The focus, the main goal of the Imagination Walks is to introduce children to the wonders of nature and also help them explore their imagination. Each Saturday will focus on a different theme, and it would also highlight the many different wildlife and habitats in the park. Some of the themes that we included are Habitat Explorer, Bird Watch, Fishes in the Lake, and that will be complemented with arts and craft and many fun games. Some of the sponsors that we have for this program is VMTV, it's a Spanish TV network. We have Smile Savers, it's a pediatric dentist practice, and also Lois Carrot Cake. So we really hope that families can really join us and come with their children. And also younger and older children are also welcome. Siblings.
Yeah, now you just mentioned families, and I was about to ask, since you mentioned the age range of 4 to 7, and that it's on Saturdays, so I would imagine that parents will be bringing their children. Are parents involved in the nature or the imagination walks as well, or is it just limited to the children?
No, the students have to come with their parents, and I'm sure they will enjoy it just like the children's. And the program is from 10 to 11 a.m. on Saturdays. 10
to 11, okay. Do you provide any kind of refreshments or anything for
hopefully for next year. This is the first time we're premiering this program.
Okay.
So we hope that we can provide refreshment. That was one of the goals for this year, but unfortunately we won't. So hopefully for next year.
Well, there's a big distributor here in the Bronx that I'm sure that that provides a lot of beverages. Maybe you can go and tap into that.
That would be a good idea.
Now, is there a cost associated with the Imagination Walks?
It's completely free. It's completely free, and it's open to not just the Bronx, but all the different boroughs.
Is there a pre-registration that's involved in order to participate?
No. The parents have to come and meet us at Nature Center, and that's on 246th and Broadway. Just walking on 246th.
Yeah, that's important. 246th and Broadway.
Just walking
at the Nature Center, and you'll convene there on Saturday morning.
10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. And the program will run until July 30th every Saturday.
Yes. 7 Saturdays.
Outstanding. It sounds like a great program for the kids.
We got a lot of requests from families, especially the families who play sports. If they're waiting for their husbands or their sons or their daughters, the younger kids have nothing to do, and the parents have come to us and say, we need something to do. So we just figured let's do this, and it would help everybody out.
It's a great idea, and actually introducing our young ones to nature and getting them to appreciate what nature is really all about.
Absolutely.
And that it is right here in the Bronx. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Getting back to the establishment of the Conservancy, I know that some of the information that I read, the Conservancy actually, or the incorporation of the park and the creation of the Conservancy was supposed to mirror, I think, the was it Brooklyn, the Borough Park in Brooklyn, I think, or
yes, it's a public-private partnership. And what that means is that the park administrator is the head of the nonprofit organization, so that any funds that come in, we know exactly where they're needed.
Okay.
And that's been helpful in Central Park, in Prospect Park, in Riverside Park, in Fort Tryon Park. So it's a very similar model.
Okay.
And that person is me.
Okay. Now, I know that also I read that the New York City Department of Parks sets aside about $4 million a year
Yes.
for the park. But that's, I would imagine that's just for general upkeep.
Yeah. Yep.
But given the economic times that the city faces in its budget, as well as the economic times that have impacted some philanthropic giving, have you experienced any challenges in soliciting funds and securing funds for the park, especially the culture programs?
We're so small that the only way is up from here. and we're so young that it's just that nobody has asked for monies from these things. It's not like the 80s when there was money all over the place where you could just ask and people would get, yeah. And so, but it's harder. It's going to be a slow grow, and we understand that.
Okay. And what about this barefoot dancing that will be going on?
Well,
that's on the screen right now for our viewers.
Yeah, oh, fabulous. That's a partnership that with a number of groups. The Hill schools have been very helpful in funding it and sponsoring it. And this comes from Wave Hill about, well, I guess it's like 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. When I worked at Wave Hill, we started the barefoot dancing with Stephanie Ehrlich. And it was so successful there that it just got too big. And then the flower gardens were being trampled, and we had to say, okay, we can't do it anymore. So that when I came over to Van Cortlandt Park, the head of Wave Hill at the time said, you know what, Margot, please start it again at Van Cortlandt. It's got a big place, it's got a big sound, why not start it again? And so we have, and it's been, people love it.
Really?
Yeah, it happens at the Van Cortlandt House Museum lawn, which has a fence around it, so you know there's no garbage, no glass, no yucky stuff to get your feet cut on or anything.
Okay.
And people just kick off their shoes and have a wonderful time. They bring their picnics. People come, it's multi-generational. You got the little tiny kids running around and the grown-ups coming around, and senior citizens. Everybody loves it.
Now, and this activity is also free?
Yes, yeah, it is free.
And it happens
every
Thursday during July.
During July,
from
right.
6:30 to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And the music and the entertainment, and it's all for everyone to participate and share.
And it comes from, we always get live music from different corners of the earth. So this year we have Brazilian music with capoeira. We have from West Africa, Tukanu, and actually he's so wonderful. He received the NEA Lifetime Achievement Award, and we're just delighted to have him back. And there's also a Japanese group that's coming, and they really want to honor the people in Japan who survived through the tsunami
and the earthquakes, yes. Well, I want to thank you both for taking time to share with us this wonderful information about the park, and certainly hope that our viewers take advantage of these opportunities and these recreational opportunities in particular that exist for them right here in the Bronx. Thank you again for being with us.
VCpark.org is where people should go to look at it.
DCPark.org.
VC Park. VC. Like Van Cortlandt. As in Van Cortlandt.
Thank you so much again for being with us. And up next,